What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching True Heel Heat podcast.
All right, hello, True Heel Heat. I'm the AEW World Champion, MJF. Just in case you're deaf, dumb, blind, stupid, or since you listen to this podcast poor, you're listening to True Heel Heat, and I apologize for that.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3, and we are live on the True Hill Heat, YouTube and Facebook for our AEW Grand Slam Australia preview, breaking down tomorrow's show from Sydney, Australia, as AEW returns to Australia for the first time in 1 year. We got an AEW World Title match main event. Will determine the number one contender for the title at Revolution. Hair will be on the line, as well as more championship gold hanging above the ring, and much, much more. And of course, to break it all down for you, we got an all-star panel here today. And of course, we start off with my main man, 100 Grand. He's the MC of the past, present, and future of New Japan Pro Wrestling here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, but also he dabbles in the All Elite verse. He is the one and only J News. How are you doing, J News?
It is quite the day. It's Friday in the U.S. Is it Saturday yet in Australia? Time
yes,
difference? It is Saturday.
Yes, it is.
In Australia. So they're getting ready for the show that we'll be seeing tomorrow. Definitely excited for this one. It's been at least in my opinion, it's been a great start to 2026 for AEW, and I'm excited for this show and everything that is coming to it.
Indeed. And of course, for all of our pay-per-view previews, we are joined by the lovely, the unfiltered soul that is the one and only co-host from Coexisting with Rob and Maggie. She is Maggie. How are you doing?
I'm okay, guys. Happy Friday the 13th. But, fuck that. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. So let's... I don't care. Also, it's almost over for me. It's 8 p.m. So just fuck off. So tomorrow is Valentine's Day. So my coworker, he's the biggest bartender in my home city. He's the most famous one, at least. Okay. He has a birthday on Sunday, the 15th. But because it's a Sunday and he's gonna have a party tomorrow. And because I don't know how it happened, but somehow it's always up to me to make things happen for everyone in my bar, and no one does anything for my birthday. It's so stupid. I hate it. So, well, they're men, so so
that
yeah,
happens.
and because like I get to, tell everyone that he's celebrating tomorrow just so they can, come tomorrow. And a lot of these people are, couples. And damn well I'm about to crap on some Bulgarian men. And like, because they're at the bar as I was leaving after work. And I'm like, hey, I know tomorrow's Valentine's Day and probably you have plans, but when you're done, would you come over, and celebrate his birthday? And he's like, why would I have plans tomorrow? And I'm like, well, it's Valentine's Day tomorrow. And he's like, oh yeah, I totally forgot. Oh, we're not doing anything tomorrow. We're gonna come. And I'm like, are you sure? It's I don't know. To which he replied, well, it's a stupid thing. What it's about, that's stupid. I know my girlfriend really loves it and she would like to do something, but it's stupid for me and we're not doing anything. And I'm like, okay, how about you do something for her? I know
Just a
it's
thought.
weird.
Crazy.
I know it's weird, but how about you do like as a gesture to show her you love her and everything, And he's like, oh yeah, okay, I guess I'll take her to dinner. And I'm like, did you make a reservation? There's no way any of the restaurants are gonna be able to sit you on the biggest night for, to which
Couples.
because he apparently didn't make a reservation because he just realized that tomorrow was Valentine's Day. And he was like, yeah, you know what? A prayer for all the men that are obligated to go to dinner just because their wives or girlfriends made them to. And I'm like, yeah, man, a moment of prayer for all of these men who can have sex afterwards, Those poor men. Oh my God. And
those poor men having to have sex, getting all tired and sweaty.
Yeah. In loving relationships and everything, those poor men, So, hi guys, I hope you're you're better with your better halves, because Jesus fucking Christ, man. Every year, and I'm like, well, it's I hope for once I can have, a boyfriend on Valentine's Day, and then men do this, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna be okay. So
you're gonna be fine. I love our
fine.
Maggie anecdotes. This is just a Maggie anecdote.
It's not fun, you guys. It's so not fun. I hate it here. But how are you guys? Are you okay? Are you doing something tomorrow?
I have kids, so I'm not allowed to do anything, but I have done my due diligence and got my missus some gifts, even though I told her today that I did get her a gift and she was like, oh, you didn't have to do that. You could have just gave me money. Gotta love that. This is how it's been when you've been with someone for multiple years.
That was what I was about to say. That's how you know you're in the real love. That's how you know.
That's how you know. When they're done, when she's not interested in celebrating Valentine's Day.
She doesn't even care.
Kids.
Keep your drink, just give me the money.
But yes, I have done my due diligence. What about you, J News? Did you do your due diligence for tomorrow?
No. There is no due diligence for me to do, unfortunately. But I'll say this. but I will say this. It has bothered me over the years when I was in relationships, much like Maggie was saying, right? Where I would forget about the day, right? And not because I'm a terrible human being, or he's just another guy. No. I've always tended to be in one-sided relationships. So I give you 360 days of adoration, love, flowers, cards, presents, dinners. And what the fuck do I get? Man, nothing. Get out of here with that mess. Get out of here with that.
You got your
Wow.
birthday and the anniversary.
Nah, but they got no. Hold on a minute now. It's Valentine's Day, their birthdays, Mother's Day, or whatever the case. If they mothers, right? Anniversaries, right? Because we're all the ones that haven't do the planning. They don't do the planning. We just show up. Right? They just show up at the end of the day. So it's like, where is the, nah, man, I'm good. I'm good. Ain't no hate though. Love to the ladies out there. Love to the ladies out there celebrating. And doing their thing. Props to all the guys doing what they can for their ladies and everything else and all that jazz.
Prayer for the guys having sex, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
pray for the guys who have to do all that. I love that we got two different perspectives from two different ends. This is perfect. This is a Valentine's Day podcast now.
Oh hell no! I'm about to hop off here.
But no, we appreciate y'all for joining us live. If you're like anecdotes like that, you'll usually get it when Maggie joins us for these pay-per-view previews. Appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. You could drop a thumbs up on this video. You could share this video with all your wrestling fans, family, and friends on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. We're always here with pay-per-view previews and reviews for all of the major shows and even specials like AEW Grand Slam Australia. We'll be back here on Sunday to review the show. And of course, you can sound off in the comments down below and give us your predictions for AEW Grand Slam Australia. We love to keep the conversation going over there if you're watching on demand. But if you're with us live, we want you to be a part of the show. So sound off in the live chat. I was about to say coexist because I saw someone say coexisting in the chat. We love to interact with all of you guys and highlight your comments. So we will try to highlight as many comments as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you want to show your support to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel in the best way possible, you could do so with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here. We always appreciate the support. Also, we've set another super chat goal and we've been hitting a lot of them as of late, and I've been putting a special goal achievements or milestones, basically goals for us to hit. And if we hit our goal for today, we're going to be rewatching a classic AEW pay-per-view on the channel, and we'll probably put that out to the community for you guys to pick, but we will do that for all the subscribers if we hit our super chat goal for today. We got in the chat with us today Zach Minger, who says National Italian Food Day, SP3,
Hell yes.
J News, and Maggie.
That's what I can get on board with. Yeah.
See, me and Maggie sharing a brain. I'm up for some Italian food today. We don't have to be on opposing sides for everything. Look at that.
What do you mean everything? What do you mean everything, JPEG? We're not.
I was waiting for that. I was like, when is she going to call him JPEG? Oh my God.
Hey, come on. We can always love ourselves, okay? And I do mean masturbate. So like that is something.
You know,
that's not a bad thing, okay? That's not a bad thing. We're all grown-ups here, okay?
This is true. Love yourself. Love yourself always.
You can go love yourself.
Right.
Not now, wait after the show is done and then go do it.
Yeah, of course. Now we're on screen. Corey Michaels saying no kings except for Brody King.
Well, now I will do it then.
Reese's peanut butter cups. We got Power Driver Finisher who says AEW Saturday night main event. No, you know this can't be Saturday night's main event, Power Driver, because there's 6 matches. That's 2 more than usual.
That's too much.
That's too much. too much for Saturday night main event. We got Call Me Mr. Banda in the chat who says, Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. See, I get my accent down ready for tomorrow. We also got Mr. Towns in the chat. Good to see you, saying what's up, everybody. We got Hassan saying he's ready for our Valentine's Day parade special tomorrow.
No. Valentine's Day parade is on Sunday. It's the Walk of Shame. That's the Valentine's Day parade.
She's on fire tonight, boys. She's on fire tonight.
Oh yes, Farjar Finisher giving you good advice, saying you gotta plan ahead. Never done a walk of shame?
No, I've never had sex, sweetie. It's
We got Jordan who says hashtag THH fire emoji, hashtag coexisting fire emoji. Indeed, the connection that brings all the joy to all of you as always. So we appreciate y'all in the chat. Keep sounding off. Send those super chat donation if you want to show your support. But as we always do with our pay-per-view previews that we do here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, we want to get our hype level, our anticipation level for tomorrow's show. So from 0 to 10, we'll start with Maggie. How much are you hyped up for AEW Grand Slam Australia?
I'm pretty hyped up. This is gonna be a really wonderful event. I almost call it a pay-per-view, but I don't think it's pay-per-view. It's like a collision. I remember this time last year we Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega teaming up, and that was so good.
Against Proto Shida. That was one of the best tag team matches of the year.
And it was right at the beginning of the year. That's the bar was set pretty high. I'm pretty hyped up, but because it's, you know the drill. It's a Saturday, and I have to watch it on Sunday before work, and that's excruciating for me. So that's why I'm like at a 7 because of that. If it was a Sunday, I was good right up there, 8.5 or 9. But like it's a 7 because I have to get up really early. I hate doing that. But it's low because of the day, that it's happening. Nothing to do with, everything with the card. You guys said it at the beginning of the show. AEW has been on a roll since the beginning of the year. So, yeah.
Yeah, I will go to Jay News next before I give mine. 0 to 10, how much are you hyped for tomorrow's show?
I'm at a good 9, man. I like everything that's been going on AEW since the beginning of the year. I think that they've, within the last, I hate to say it this way, but it's the truth. Within the last week, they've been able to post the card up and get the ticket sales up for the goddamn show. So that's been a plus. I was a little worried about how they were going to go into Australia and whatnot. I know that fans from Australia were a little bit let down with how the marketing for the show had gone in recent weeks and even the past months and whatnot. But hopefully, them presenting the card and posting the card up and getting everybody buzzed up during the last 10 days has aligned well for AEW. But I'm at a good 9 right now. I like everything that's been going on. The changes on Wednesday they were different. I also feel like they were necessary, and it's just going to lead to bigger. I feel like it's going to lead to bigger and better things, and Grand Slam Australia is going to be a part of that. So, yeah.
Actually, yeah. I feel like AEW have been having problems with marketing and promotion when it comes to pay-per-views ever since they started. Because every time I was in London for All In, if I didn't know that there was a big thing happening in fucking Wembley of all places, I would have zero clue, because there's nowhere, you don't see it anywhere. And like all those double deckers, the red buses, all of them have commercials on them. Are you kidding me? Like it's I don't feel like it's that hard. You can do a bit of promotion work. But I don't know. It's easy for me to say when I've never done it ever. But like, have some posters. I don't know, in subways or how expensive is it really? So
Yeah.
I
You have
think
to
that's
be
part of- I
willing
think
to.
that's part of
You
the
have to be
deal, right?
willing to kind of spend the money, like
Yeah,
to
that's-
paper and get the posters up, and it just seems like they kind of slack in that department.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how much. Not too sure. I don't know at all. I don't know if they budget for that. To be quite honest, it just doesn't seem like they do. Right. So, like Maggie was saying, I feel like they have to get that under control because it's been their issue since the outset. At the end of the day, they do count on the sickos, right? And they count on the fact that they're always going to have great matches, which we can always count on. But it still is a business. You still do sell an entertainment product. So you have to promote it at the end of the day. You know, it is a wrestling promotion at the end of the day. So get your marketing supplies and tools and revenue in order and get this shit on the road, man. I would have felt like they should have started promoting Grand Slam Australia months ago, especially as an international show. And then to hear or to see for the first time their marketing package for All In just last week. I was like, isn't this supposed to be the biggest show of the year for you guys? Like, this should have been on the road already, you know? So, you know, that's always been kind of the down part about AEW. But hopefully, you know, they can get some sort of grip around it, man, because it's at times you just don't know until the week prior, and that's not enough time.
No. You can
I
get
can't believe
some people traveling for the event if they promote it ahead of time.
Yeah,
exactly. I can't believe they're not selling all-in tickets right now. I mean, they're about to, you know, in March, and I'm like, fucking March? Are you kidding? Like, you've known that you're gonna return to Wembley since last year. It's not, you know, a matter of, you know, doing the work and nailing down the, you know, the venue. You already know it's gonna be there. You already know the date. Like, what's the problem? I don't know.
I think that they're going to do well for Wembley this year. I think it was a wise decision taking the year off because it has grown like an anticipation for their return to Wembley Stadium. And if everything goes to fruition, and it looks like they are making it very obvious that Will Ospreay is gonna main event the show. So it just depends on who he's gonna main event it against.
Listen, if he faces Kenny Omega, I'm gonna fucking lose it because I'm not going.
Oh, you're not going? Oh,
No.
Oh, I'm sad. I was looking forward.
I have no money for that, man. No money for that. It's been a tough. It's been a tough year.
I want Omega and Ospreay.
Guys, I hope we get it because at the end of the day, it's a huge match, and I'm still gonna watch it on television. But it's been a tough year. I really want to make my bathroom, and it costs a lot of money, and I'm choosing to be a fucking grown up and, you know, doing my bathroom, and as opposed to going to fucking Wembley, because I just looked up ticket prices for you know, for traveling, you know. Fuck no. You kidding? It's again a bank holiday. Fuck bank. Could we do it a different weekend, Tony Khan? Could we do it a different weekend? That's ridiculous plane prices. Please.
Move it over just a little bit. We got our first super chat donation from our good brother Laron Ford. Thank you so much, Laron, for the support. He says, should AEW consider using influencers to help promote the product? Because as good as the in-ring product is, promotion of the product is not good. I mean, yeah, that's what we're saying with the promotion of the product. The product is in good shape right now on screen, but they got to do better with promoting. I don't know how much influencers help in that regard. I think that
they can do it themselves.
Yeah, what like it's we told you really the solution is invest more money to paper stuff, like to put posters up in subways, to put posters up on buses, to put posters up in the airport. The airport is a big thing that WWE does, and they do it better than anybody. I don't think that the influencers that watch AEW are getting people to pay the enormous prices that WWE events are for. It's more about them promoting, them being on the radio, them having television advertisements. AEW, they did spend a bunch of money for a Super Bowl ad. I think that's a step in the right direction. They just have to do it more like locally. Like the fact that they had to ship a lot of the people out that were part of the Grand Slam Australia card before Dynamite this week to do local media. I think that's going to help for the last minute ticket sales for this event. I think that MJF has done amazing stuff. I've seen MJF on all of these Australian outlets. He was on the Australian news this week. I know Brody King's been doing stuff. I know a bunch of the Babes of Wrath and Mega Bad have done some local media. That helps, but you got to do it earlier. You got to get the jump on it. So hopefully they do that for like, they don't need to do it for like Grand Slam Mexico. Arena Mexico is going to sell out as soon as they announce that show, but they got to do that for All In if they want to at least get more than 50,000 the last time they were in Wembley Stadium in 2024. If they want to get to that 60,000 mark, they got to do local media ahead of time, months ahead of time, instead of the week of the show.
Also pay me to be there. So
I mean that is this. See, this is a better one than influencers, LaRon. This is better. Yeah, a street team. That's what they need. Yeah, they need a street team locally in all the places that they're going. It doesn't matter if it's an episode of Dynamite, an episode of Collision, or a pay-per-view. They need street teams in these local places that they're going to.
You see, that's an interesting idea. I'm not too sure how old LaRon is, but mentioning the word street team beckons to a nostalgic time in my life because I was a street team member back in the day, doing things for different recording companies and stuff like that. And those times were tough, but I agree with that. Thank you, LaRon. As a matter of fact, there you go. That's why at the end of the day, the street team thinks it works. I feel it still works if folks wanted to do it. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, SP3 locally, it would make a ton of difference, especially in these on the weekly shows and things of that nature, especially for a country like Australia, because it's so separate from the rest of the world. It would make the difference there. You know what I'm saying? Instead of doing stuff the week up, like I appreciate the stars of the show going out doing media there and stuff like that, but not the week prior and the week of. Like there needs to be a build for it. Like I think last year was the first year that they did it, or 2 years ago. They had when Buddy was healthy, Buddy Matthews as it is. Buddy was out there a month prior, right? But it was just Buddy. It wasn't anyone else, and he did like 5 or 6, like 4 or 5 different media appearances in a week.
Well, Tony Storm and Paul White, they did a lot of media for the first Grand Slam Australia, especially when they
Come
thought
on,
it was
you're
gonna
gonna give me
stadium.
Paul White?
Paul White that's his job. He's the ambassador. That's his job. That's his job to be one of the people that they send out to these locations.
And then I think another part of the promotional aspect of it is, especially in these international markets, it's put the fact that you're doing the media and the promotion on TV so that people know. You know what I'm saying? Social media is not everything. It's really, really not. You're only going to capture a certain sector of the fan base via social media. Put it on your TV shows that you're doing this promo, and then people will catch that buzz. That's the way that I feel about it. But yeah, street teams, hell yeah, I'm for that. I'm for that too, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I am. That was a good shout right there, LaRon. We got Paradise Finisher. He says, I think they need to break away from the wrestling niche bubble. Yeah, if you have like fans that are celebrities, that does do a lot to draw interest from outside viewers that only know wrestling but identify wrestling by WWE. And a lot of those people were created to be fans because they saw Lawrence Taylor in 1995, or they saw Mike Tyson in 1998, and that got them to become a wrestling fan back then. And now nowadays you have the Bad Bunnies, you got Even though I don't like him, he does have a fan base. Logan Paul, you got those people to draw some outside viewers that are outside the wrestling niche bubble, and that's what makes WWE the hot ticket that it still is to this day. Well, not so much in WWE's eyes when it comes to WrestleMania, I guess. But yes, let's talk about it. As far as where my hype level, my anticipation level, I'm right there with Jay News. I think that the last minute addition that they put on Dynamite took this over the top. I was probably like an 8 going into this week's Dynamite, but I thought this week's Dynamite was the best TV episode of AEW television of the year. It was a blowaway episode with a match of the year candidate with Tommaso Ciampa and Kyle Fletcher. And then that last minute addition to the card for the ladder match, I was like, yeah, this is a 9 out of 10. I'm at like a 9 out of 10 as far as anticipation for this card, because it's absolutely stacked and it's got a little bit of everything, and that's what you expect from an AEW pay-per-view quality card. And even with 6 matches, this is a pay-per-view quality show that's going to be going down tomorrow. So let's talk about one of those big time matches on this card that has a lot of stakes involved and might be the one that it seems like from the community, from what I've been hearing, a lot of people are split on. It's going to determine the winner will receive an AEW World Championship matchup on March 15th at AEW Revolution in Los Angeles, California. We got 1/3 of the AEW World Trios champions, Hangman Adam Page, going one-on-one with arguably the hottest star in AEW today, Andrade El Idolo. And I say hottest in that he is one of the hottest acts, and also hottest because the women in the front row seem to think so. Andrade has been on a roll since he returned to AEW at the beginning of January. He has picked up back-to-back victories over Kenny Omega and Swerve Strickland, 2 former AEW World Champions, to qualify for this number 1 contenders matchup. Hangman Adam Page has started off 2026 undefeated himself. He defeated Australia's own Mark Davis to qualify for this number 1 contenders matchup. Hangman was looking forward to going one-on-one with his good friend Kenny Omega, but instead he gets Andrade, who beat Omega. So can Andrade make it 3 straight wins over former AEW World Champions, or will Hangman Adam Page go one-on-one with MJF at Revolution 1 year since their battle at Revolution 2025, where Hangman beat him? Hangman was 2-0 against MJF in singles competition in 2025. Meanwhile, Andrade and MJF have been going back and forth on social media, so we'll see what happens here. Maggie, we'll start with you. Who you got here, and what have you thought about the very compelling scene that is the AEW World Title picture right now? I think I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. I think the AEW World Title picture, MJF having the title, and all these top contenders, whether it's these 2, Brody King, Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, it's probably one of the best stories in all of wrestling right now. And it comes down to this one to find out who goes on to Revolution. Who you got, Maggie?
I've loved this so much because it gave us the opportunity to have branched out a lot of other feuds from it, because they didn't get the opportunity at MJF. So a lot of other things spiraled from that, like Kenny Omega versus Swerve. Oh my God. And I love Hangman. He's probably one of my favorite wrestlers right now. Right up there, probably my favorite wrestler in AEW. Well, top 3 probably. I really want to see Andrade win this one because I haven't seen it. I haven't seen Andrade versus MJF. I have seen Hangman and MJF, and that's how I would know that I wouldn't mind if I get it again, because I've seen it and it was pretty good. And they always work well together. Ever since the beginning of AEW, Hangman and MJF have been low-key, fighting against each other for like some sort of supremacy. But it's not as big as Hangman and Swerve, or it used to be Moxley and Kenny Omega, but then it spiraled into Moxley and Hangman again. But in my eyes, Moxley versus Kenny Omega is still up there, with the greatest feuds, because it's the thing that kind of started AEW with that, attack at Double or Nothing. So if Andrade wins this match, I don't know where Hangman goes for Revolution after that. But when it comes to, the AEW championship, I love that it's in the position it is right now. And it's weird that I'm even saying it, because it has to be this all the time, I feel like. But I used to say back in the day that AEW is always great when the elite are on top, when they're together and, they're battling something, because it feels like the family's back together, and it's such a, a feel-good moment. And we got that, and it was okay. It was kind of underwhelming when we got it. But now that they made all of these huge stars gunning for MJF, and I'm like, that's really, really cool. And when you think of it, it's not that hard. Just like promoting your show, like it shouldn't be this hard. And I really love it. I'm so in love with everything that they're doing with the title right now. But I think I'm gonna go with Andrade, just because I want to see the match that I've never seen before. I don't think I'm gonna have a problem if Hangman wins. I mean, he's my favorite, but I really want to see the dynamic between Andrade and MJF. Also, there has to be a reason why they're going back and forth on social media so much.
Yeah, maybe they started the build early there. So,
Yeah.
What about you, J Nose? Who you going with, and what have you been thinking about the AEW World Title picture?
I think just off the top, I'm going with Andrade for this one. Just because, to Maggie's point, I just want to see something different. Andrade's he's on one right now, man, and they got to keep on riding that wave and riding that momentum. We talked about something similar when it came to New Japan on Wednesday, SP3, when we were talking about that Aaron Wolf match and how they cut him off at the knees, right?
Yeah.
When he got beat, and it's like Andrade's on one right now. He's on a heater. You got to keep this momentum going. He's the best he's looked in quite some time. Like, Hanger's an AEW lifer. I don't see him going anywhere. Like, him losing here doesn't do anything, doesn't bring him down or whatever. I forgot who brought it up in the chat as well. He's a trios champion. Like, he's got something to do outside of this. You know what I'm saying? So giving Andrade that opportunity would be a good thing for AEW. It'll obviously bring different eyes to the product as well, being that, Andrade is Mexican and he's a ladies' man, and they're what AEW is trying to do right now is bring in that Roman Reigns ladies crowd with Andrade. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, they got that dude. He's trying to hit the demographic. I feel like they're doing a good job with him. Him winning here, I'm sure there's going to be Don Callis family chicanery like there was in the other two wins that he got, which will make sense from a storytelling perspective and whatnot. But him winning and getting a match against MJF, and to me, it doesn't matter that it's heel versus heel because their dynamics are different at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I would definitely like to see Andrade versus MJF at Revolution. And yeah, man. Yeah, let's do it. Let's keep the rocket pack on Andrade for now. Do I see him win the championship? No, but I would just like to see him get there so that he can prove that he belongs in that upper echelon of AEW talent in the championship division, in the men's championship division. But also to the second part of your question about the storyline, how I've been liking the story so far about everyone gunning for MJF. Like Maggie said, it's been there all along. It was easy to do. You had the horses. You're using the horses now. It makes all the sense in the world. And it also allows you to get as they're doing with Andrade, get different people in that scene. So you can continue to do that once people lose matches. Oh, Swerve's out, Kenny's out. Let's see who else we can elevate. You know what I'm saying? So you can continue to use that vehicle for that purpose. So I'm with it, man. I'm with it.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying this whole story. And yeah, I'm going to make it unanimous. I'm going with Andrade as well. I went into this week's Dynamite, and I was like, I think the best case scenario for this matchup would be like a 30-minute draw. So both guys, and then you do a triple threat. But I was like, nah, just pull the trigger. It's Andrade's time. I made the whole argument. I had people arguing against me when I said Andrade should beat Swerve 3 weeks ago. And I had people being like, oh, Andrade, you can't trust him and all of that. Like, the whole reason why Andrade was jumping from promotion to promotion is because none of these promotions would get behind him, even though he has a great look. He's an incredible pro wrestler. He didn't really have, like, he doesn't have the talking chops because, you know, Spanish is his first language, and he does speak pretty good English, though. And he didn't really have the character to bring it all together, and the presentation wasn't always there. But now he has it. He has it all. This feels like the final form of Andrade. He's got the look. He's got this aura farming Lothario character with the OnlyFans models who love him in the front row. He's got Don Callis to cut his promos for him. He's got it all. We have finally put it all together. We found the missing pieces to the puzzle for Andrade, and now it seems finally one of these promotions is getting behind him. You can't cut him at the knees right now. You got to go all the way with him and solidify him as a main man, and how you do that is him beating his third straight former AEW World Champion and headlining the next pay-per-view, Revolution. That's how you tell everybody. Look what it did for Kyle Fletcher to have a pay-per-view main event against Hangman Adam Page last year. Everybody and their mama now sees Kyle Fletcher as a future AEW World Champion. It doesn't matter if Andrade goes all the way and beats MJF at Revolution or whoever's the AEW World Champion. Just him beating Omega, Swerve, and then Hangman 3 in a row, that makes him a made man. That solidifies him as a main eventer, and that's what AEW really needs, that they got these guys like Swerve, who's a made man, Omega, who's a former champion, or Hangman, who's a former two-time champion. They got your John Moxleys, you got your MJFs, you got Will Ospreay on the way back, but you need more guys to throw into the mix, and I think they've done a great job on the build-up to the show with Brody King, who's in the main event, and Andrade, but you got to solidify one of these guys as a main eventer, and I think it needs to be Andrade here. He's the hottest star in AEW right now. Go all the way with him.
I mean, in my eyes, if you pin Kenny Omega, you should be champion after that. I'm sorry. It's just, you beat Kenny, you should be Why aren't you champion yet? It's put the title on him. What do you mean he beat Kenny and then he lost to MJF or Hangman? No. Just, what the fuck? No.
Well, we got Short King the Girl says, yeah, but heel versus heel, I don't know. This is the thing though. AEW has never done heel versus heel, so it's something brand new. And if you're able to get, like, I know he has the Capcom convention and Dave put out that report, but you know, I'm sorry, after yesterday I'm gonna throw a little bit of salt on Dave's reporting as of late. But Kenny Omega, if you look at the details, Kenny Omega is booked through the Friday of the Capcom convention, so he could realistically go to Revolution on that Sunday of that week. And if you're doing a babyface versus babyface matchup of Omega versus Swerve, you balance the scales by doing a heel versus heel matchup for the championship. And this is breaking news to you. The Latin guy is going to be the babyface in Los Angeles. I'm sorry to tell you that. When it comes down to this matchup,
right there.
The build might be heel versus heel, but all you have to do to get Andrade, favorable reactions ahead of the pay-per-view is don't have Don Callis out there with him. Just have him out there by himself. Or MJF knows how to get the heat on himself and make the other guy the popular one that will be cheered. So yeah, I have all the faith in MJF and Andrade to have a proper build and a proper matchup where Andrade is the babyface and MJF is the heel.
They can just out-heel each other. I mean, if they're both presented as heels, because we're, in my eyes, not liking the heel versus heel dynamic is I don't get it. Are you, because it just means that you're used to companies telling you who you should be cheering for without you actually making the choice yourself. You can still choose one. He can be the babyface in your eyes. You're not obligated to stick to the black or the white. There's shades of gray. I mean, like, you can always pick one, the one that you're less connected to a gag reflex. So, like, that's, you can
Jesus.
you can do that. Or, I mean, come to think of it, we're all skipping over Brody King a bit. Because
this is also true. This is also true. Yeah,
there.
this is why when I was saying it, I was like, MJF or whoever is the AEW World Champion.
Yeah, because like we keep saying MJF, but we have no idea who it's. So it might not be a heel versus heel, sweetie. It can be a someone that everyone fucking adores right now versus Andrade.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. LaRon axing with the time zone difference. Couldn't Kenny make it in time to Revolution? So unless Kenny is actually like in this Capcom convention tournament, and if he's not just there as like a guest who's a part of the convention, he has a meet and greet. His last meet and greet is on Friday, which means he has a full day in between that and Revolution to make it to Los Angeles. And Los Angeles is the easiest place from Japan to go to in the United States. So I think it is realistic that, yeah, Dave came out with that report, and maybe it will be a close like thing that he has to, do all this traveling in a weekend. But if he really, I mean, he's been a part of the advertisements for Revolution, so I can't go by what Dave is saying and say Kenny's not going to be working Revolution as much as everybody else wants to say that.
He can be there, just not have a match, because guys, I know. Oh, he has a full day. We're talking. If you've never experienced jet lag, you have no idea what that is. And it's also Kenny Omega, who, I'm sorry, but please take care of yourself. And if you're not ready for a match, please just don't have one, because I want to see you wrestle for longer. So he might be there, have a thing in the ring, but not wrestle. So
we got our friend Corey Michaels in the chat who says Andrade versus MJF/Brody is the way to go. They've built it over social media, the current political climate. Andrade came off as a star since Wrestle Kingdom, and the WWE Fallout and more has him on fire. Yeah, that's the other aspect of it, that I think that WWE did a lot to basically get people behind Andrade by putting him under that 1-year non-compete. I said it when that first report came out. I was like, yo, if Andrade is free to go everywhere else, he might be the hottest star in all of wrestling, because people did not like that whole 1-year non-compete nonsense. And I'm so glad Roosh had a lawyer to give him. So let's see what happens there, but we're all going for Andrade. But that's not the only thing that's going to be on the line. Yes, there's a title opportunity in the first match we discussed, but hair will also be on the line tomorrow at Grand Slam Australia, as we have a mixed tornado tag team matchup with the loser of the fall has their head shaved. Is going to be Timeless Toni Storm and Orange Cassidy versus the Death Riders, Wheeler Yuta and Marina Shafir. These four competitors all went at it in the Mixed Nuts Mayhem back at AEW World End, which started a love story of sorts, a friendship of sorts between Timeless Toni Storm and Orange Cassidy. Timeless Toni Storm views him as her favorite citrus boy, and they have been battling the Death Riders ever since. Timeless Tony Storm formed this kind of alliance with the conglomeration to go against the Death Riders. She's had Marina Shafir as a thorn in her side for months now, while Wheeler Yuta and Orange Cassidy have been basically feuding since Wheeler turned on the Best Friends to join up with the BCC and now with the Death Riders. He was the one that also cost Orange Cassidy the AEW World Championship back at AEW Full Gear 2 years ago. And now it all comes to a head in Australia. They did an angle on Collision a couple of weeks ago where Marina and Wheeler tried to cut the hair of Orange Cassidy after Orange Cassidy had some disparaging remarks about Wheeler Yuta's crazy hair. And it was Timeless Tony Storm who made the save and threatened both of them with scissors, and then made the challenge for a mixed tornado tag team matchup, hair versus hair, for Grand Slam Australia. Of course, Toni with home field advantage, being from Australia, being from the local area. And of course, we had a great final angle on Dynamite this week where the Death Riders basically had Marina Shafir put the mother's milk on Mina Shirakawa, while Wheeler cut the ponytail of Timeless Tony Storm's lover.
Extension.
Of her lover, and Timeless Tony Storm sold it perfectly. She was up in the luxury box, so she couldn't stop it, while Daniel Garcia was attacking Orange Cassidy. Who's gonna walk out with their head shaved? Who wins this mixed tornado tag team matchup? We'll start with Jane News this time. Who you got?
Initially I thought right off the rip when they made the match, I was like, yeah, they're going to shave Wheeler's head here. It makes all the sense in the world for them to get Wheeler Yuta pinned and they'll shave his head. For some reason now, man, I'm in flux here. I don't know if that's really going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because they're if folks aren't aware, they're a little batshit crazy over at AEW, and they're willing to do risky shit. So for all intents and purposes, if I've got to pick, man, oh my God, I don't know why.
You want to say it.
I do want to say it. I feel like Toni Storm's taking the pin here. That's just me.
It's not just you. It's not just you.
I think it's just me.
It's not just you.
But listen. If they go the route of, playing it safe and making sure it's Wheeler Yuta who takes the pin, I'm not gonna be mad. But I feel like with the way things have been going as of late, they might swerve us here. I don't know how they'll go about it per se, but in my head, it's like it's Toni or it's nobody. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So that's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at.
Maggie?
Okay, I'm a bit surprised because, sweetie, are you voting for Yuta to get his hair chopped off? Because you're looking at us like
I just think that would be a horrible booking decision to have the Death Riders literally dominate the entire build to this matchup, cut Mina Shirakawa's hair, and then the babyfaces also lose at the pay-per-view. If they didn't do this angle on Wednesday, I'd probably be there with y'all. I probably think that this is an option. But it's AEW, who love to have the hometown people win. And secondly, it's been all heat for the Death Riders the last couple of weeks. It would be booking malpractice to have the baby faces lose at this one, to me. So yes, I think Wheeler Yuta is the obvious one who needs a haircut badly.
Yeah, sure. It's excruciatingly obvious, right? That Yuta should be the one to get. So, first of all, this feud ain't that serious. I don't think it's serious at all. So I don't consider this, the Death Riders dominating the build towards this match, because I don't consider this feud that serious. I usually don't give a rat's ass about hair versus hair matches, and to me, because Wheeler Yuta is the obvious answer here, it's a bit boring for me. But on the other hand, if it's fucking Toni Storm, I'm gonna fucking piss my pants. This is gonna be so cool because Toni Storm will pull off such a wonderful look with no hair. And like this makes it interesting for me. It kind of does.
I could see Toni and Orange winning, and then the Death Riders getting their heat back post-match, and they avoid the haircut and cut Toni's hair. I could see something like that. But I definitely think Toni and Orange are winning.
See,
yeah, sure.
In my mind, I feel like if that does happen, SP3, what you just said, they go after her post-match or whatever the case, they cut off all her hair. I don't know why, but I see her in that 1920s finger wave look for some reason for Toni Storm. And yeah, man, it's I feel like folks in the chat have been saying it. She's super confident, like it's something that she could just take and run with. At the end of the day, it's something they can use from a storyline perspective to reignite her character and stuff like that, and do something different for all intents and purposes. But I'm sorry, Maggie, you were saying.
That's perfectly fine. So, like, when time passes, like 2 to 3 months pass. So, imagine all of the blonde hairstyles that Pink has had, and then put them on Toni Storm. Tell me that that's not gonna work. It's right there. I just. Also, it's Toni Storm. She doesn't give a fuck about anything because she's so fucking over. She's gonna be over no matter what.
This is true. I feel like you're absolutely right in that sense that Toni can pull it off. I just think that this is one of the least important matches on this card, so I don't really understand the need for the swerve.
Well, I know that people are saying, well, predictable isn't necessarily bad if it's good, and I'm like, you're right, because everyone's gonna enjoy watching Wheeler Yuta remove his hair because everyone's hating on his hair. I don't get it. I like the guy's hair. I really don't get it. He's on his way to becoming Cousin It, but like a black-haired Cousin It, and I have nothing against that. He just needs to put the sunglasses on. He's right there.
We just need to cut the bangs. It's 2026. You don't need bangs. But
excuse me, do you have a problem with bangs, Mr. Perfect Forehead? Do you have a problem with bangs? Because
I don't have a perfect forehead. I have a big forehead. I'm fine with my forehead.
You have a lovely forehead. Shut up. You have a lovely forehead. And because people do not like their foreheads, just like I fucking hate mine, but I don't have the fucking
I like
time.
your forehead.
Shut
you
up.
have a great
because
forehead.
I don't have time to, do everything that comes with the fucking, bang situation, because those people obviously have money that work for AEW. They can afford that. So excuse me if you have a fucking problem with bangs, because they're fucking awesome if you need any.
Wheeler Yuta always looks like he's about to sing, "Don't count on me for what you're doing. Don't count on me." Because I'm just
I'm lost here, but hey,
he looks like a member of Sum 41 is what I'm trying to
say. Okay, all
right. I like Sum 41. That's not a problem for me.
Sorry, guys, it's not my day. You know what I'm saying?
I'm well versed. I could do a podcast talking about J. Cole, the Fallout, and then I could drop some Sum 41 out of nowhere. All right, let's talk about the other tag team matchup on the card for the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships. It's going to be the Babes of Wrath, Willow Nightingale, and Australia's own Harley Cameron going up against Mega Bad, Penelope Ford, and Megan Bayne. It was 2 weeks ago on AEW Dynamite. Mega Bad pulled off the upset victory over the Babes of Wrath in an AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship Eliminator matchup. The match was made official for Grand Slam Australia 1 year ago at Grand Slam Australia 2025. Harley Cameron had the biggest match of her career at that time when she challenged Mercedes Moné for the TBS Championship, and now this year she defends a championship. She comes in as a champion, and we got to run.
I got a paper plane.
You want to show them again your paper plane? Oh, you say hi to Maggie and J News. Say hi, Maggie.
I made the paper plane.
Paper plane.
It's flying. It's gonna fly.
There you go. Can I get my headphones back?
Yay!
Thank you. You did it. Yes, you did it.
I did my arm.
I love Maggie said I all did it. Had to get the running. Had to get her.
I'm so glad that I found my cashew that I dropped on the floor in time to witness the walk-in.
She just walked in, just broke up my whole spiel. But yes, Harley Cameron will defend a title 1 year after getting her first title matchup against Mega Bad here. Who you got? AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships up for grabs, Maggie. Mega Bad or Babes of Wrath?
I kind of feel like Mega Bad are winning the championships here. Yeah, it's Willow having 2 championships isn't working for me. I mean, what's the TBS championship doing? Apart from, being on a wonderful wrestler, because I fucking adore Willow. But like, it's been on the nothing. There's nothing with the championship. And there are a lot of wonderful women on that roster. So let's do something that is putting over all the majority of the women, because like you have the AEW Women's Championship, you have the TBS title, you have the Women's Tag Championships, and all of the Women's Championships on Ring of Honor. I don't even know how many they are.
There's 3, yes.
Okay. But like, I know that hopefully we're getting Athena soon. Hopefully.
I feel like you say this every preview we do.
I know, because I love Athena and I want to watch her every week.
I love her too. Me too.
I just want to watch Athena. I'm so sorry. So do you guys think at the end of the match, we have a debut?
I think so. I think I'm going with Babes of Wrath to win, and then the Inspiration make their debut.
But that's a WWE thing. But
hey,
no,
I want to see Mikey Ruckus do his own version of that. Do his own,
and he sings it. He sings it.
Yes, yes.
It's gonna be so good. But yeah, hopefully we get them. I just want to watch my silliness and imagine everything they can do with Harley. That's comedic gold. Come on, they can fight with Willow and Statlander for the custody of Harley.
Makes sense to me.
Because like Chris Statlander doesn't have a championship anymore, so she can team up with Willow. Harley can be pissed off about it, and then the Inspiration. There's a lot of things that can happen.
I like that. I like that thinking.
Yeah.
So this is my favorite comment so far. My favorite comment so far from King Gray, who said Harlem is like Danhausen. She does her gimmick and then gets out.
Can you explain that to her? Because I don't think she watches wrestling.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't.
Okay, so damn it, she can't understand it. But does she have the monies? Big sacks of money?
No.
Damn it. Yes, Athena forever. Yes, Athena forever. So this is those types of situations, the Inspiration. I'm gonna call them the Iconics for a long time. The Inspiration coming out, debuting in Australia. So this is the way to put the spotlight on the women's division, because I will never shut up about this. They did them so dirty with that tournament.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the women's. Oh, here's the C2.
Yeah. Oh, we're doing
owe him.
women's tag team titles. Oh yeah, we got national championship as well.
Yeah. It's
But yeah, I'm going with the Babes of Wrath here. Jay knows who you going with.
I don't know, man. I feel like they haven't, because they've had the women's championships basically tied into the same feuding circle, right? It's Willow, it's Stat. They're both their mainline singles champions, and then Willow's a tag team champion, and then Harley's the bridge between Stat and Willow, and it's a whole thing, right? I was thinking because they've just done 2 quote unquote shock title changes, that this could be something that they can do here, because I feel like Willow and Harley are better in the chase than being the champions, being that the like Maggie said, the tournament didn't do the ladies any favors here. So with that being said, I'm gonna go with Mega Bad. If I'm wrong, I don't, I'm wrong. It doesn't matter to me in that particular instance, but I'm gonna go with Mega Bad here, just because of the streak of title changes that have been going on as of recently. And obviously it gives Willow an opportunity to go to do the solo dolo thing and defend the TBS championship and whatnot. If they do bring out the Iconics / the Inspiration here in Australia, it makes for an interesting bit of storytelling. Are you going to side Harley Cameron with her fellow countrymates? Are they going to be the bullies to Harley Cameron? Are they going to come in are they going to do that sort of thing? Like, they have something interesting there if the Iconics do come in. I'm not too sure how the Iconics fit from a wrestling standpoint into the AEW.
That's the only question right now.
Yeah. And I'm not going to put anything past anyone, just because I think most wrestling fans who watch stuff outside of WWE understand that the WWE in-ring wrestling product is slowed down purposely, right? And it's really condensed purposely. So maybe we haven't seen the best of the Iconics / the Inspirations in-ring work. Maybe we'll see more out of them in AEW, in that regard. But yeah, that has been the rumor and the report over the last a couple of weeks and stuff like that. It makes all the sense in the world for them to debut in Australia, obviously. Them coming out to be the next tag team in line for maybe a title shot, or maybe they cost Harley and Willow the championships and stuff like that, and they just create a feud, actual storytelling for the women's tag team division that can be used as a vehicle for that. And Mega Bat can go on and defend the titles against the Brawling Birds as they come up. I don't know. That's just me. I love the name of the day. But,
I think the Brawling Birds are winning at Wembley.
See, so that we'll have that and things of that nature, and create a story for them to sink their teeth into and stuff like that. But there's good places they can go from a storytelling perspective with this match, either during the match or post this match, and it doesn't necessarily need Harley and Willow to win this match, which is why I'm going with Mega Bad.
Yeah, I think the Babes of Wrath are winning mostly because it's AEW and people usually win in their home countries, and Harley lost last year, so let her get the win here, and then I think it sets up a more interesting story. Like you said, you want story. I think it sets up a more interesting story with the Inspiration coming in, because not only is there the country woman of Harley Cameron is very close friends with the Inspiration. In fact, she sings their theme song Literally, they will probably be coming out to their theme song from TNA, which was sung by Harley Cameron. So that creates a whole dynamic where Harley's in the middle. She's got two friends over here with Willow and Chris. She has a longtime friends of the Inspiration. I think that's more of an interesting feud to go instead of Mega Bad, and we don't know what they're going to do with Mega Bad as tag team champions. And honestly, I think that Mega Bad will eventually become tag team champions because, like I said, I think the Brawling Birds will be the win the titles at Wembley. I think that will probably be from Mega Bad. I think you probably put the titles on the Inspiration, and then Mega Bad beats them for the tag team titles, and then they eventually drop the titles to the Brawling Birds. And the other thing is, Willow Nightingale, something that nobody seems to point out except for me. When Willow Nightingale won the TBS championship, the following week she cut her promo and said, with Renee in the ring, she was like, "I don't care if I have to defend these titles. I'm a double champion. I don't care if I have to defend both of these titles on the same night." And we still haven't done that. So we still need to do that. So I think that the next opportunity is Revolution. You do her versus maybe like Megan Bayne for the TBS championship, and then you do the Babes of Wrath versus Inspiration on the same night. She's able to skim by Megan Bayne, and then they lose the tag team titles to the Inspiration.
So a couple of things. First of all, for me, Mega Bad should have always been the inaugural tag team champions. I think they should have won the championships. I get it. You know, Willow and Harley are wonderful women to be your first ever tag team champions. I get it. But for me, it was supposed to be Mega Bad. And second of all, you can make a point out of Harley not being able to win in Australia ever. And then when she finally does, it's for a big title. And she gets a standing ovation and everything. You know, they can make that happen, but it has to be done correctly. So if she loses this year again, they can do, next year for, a singles championship, and then she wins it. Third time's a charm.
You can do that as well. You can go either way with this one.
Yeah.
Just like in our other title matchup we're going to bring up now for the AEW Continental Championship is going to be Jon Moxley making his first official defense of the title since winning the Continental Classic at World's End, and he will defend against one of the men that beat him during the Continental Classic, the Don Callis family's Konosuke Takeshita. During the Blue League of the Continental Classic, Konosuke Takeshita pulled off his first victory over Jon Moxley, who was 2-0 going into that matchup against Takeshita, but he realized that he fought a whole different Takeshita, who is now the alpha, who seemed like a favorite to win the Continental Classic until he was screwed over by Kazuchika Okada in the semifinals at World's End with a screwdriver, that same screwdriver that Kyle Fletcher tried to use in his matchup against Jon Moxley, but Moxley was able to defeat him and then defeated Kazuchika Okada, which led to this whole rivalry being set up with the other member of the Don Callis family who was able to beat Moxley during the tournament, Konosuke Takeshita, who stepped up as a challenger for Moxley. Over the last couple of weeks, we've seen a war being waged between the Death Riders and the Don Callis family with multiple trios matches, including this past week on Dynamite, and probably the best one of these trios matches as Moxley, Pac, and Claudio teamed for the first time to get a victory for the Death Riders, but it was Takeshita who pulled off a victory the week prior against the Death Riders, pinning Daniel Garcia to earn this opportunity at Grand Slam Australia. They are 2-1 in their 3 previous matches against one another, but like I said before, this is a whole different Takeshita than the one that Moxley originally beat in AEW. Will Moxley lose the title in his first official defense, or will Takeshita fail to do what Okada and Kyle Fletcher couldn't as well and beat Jon Moxley with the gold on the line? Jay News, what have you thought about the war being waged between the Death Riders and the Callis family, and who you think wins, Moxley or Takeshita?
This is tough for me because all this still stems, like, from the match is going to be great. One. Second, the lingering Takeshita versus Okada thing is still there for me, right? Okada's always throwing jabs at Takeshita during promos and stuff like that. I mean, he just did that this past Wednesday when he was talking to Kyle about the TNT Championship and how he wanted Kyle to be a champion just like him. What's up, Proto Okada? It's like, okay. Downplay Takeshita and things of that nature. And for me, in my head, it makes sense, depending as to wherever they want to do this. It makes sense for Takeshita to win the Continental Championship, right? From Jon Moxley, being that he already beat Moxley at the tournament. He beats Moxley here, and they're all champions. Kyle, Takeshita, and Okada at the same time. And, you know, for all intents and purposes, they're going to be fighting over Kyle, I think, Okada and Takeshita. And it's got to come to a head yet again at a bigger event. I don't know if the bigger event would be Revolution. I don't know if it's going to be Double or Nothing or All In. Well, I don't know. But they both got to be champion going into whatever next match they have one-on-one, I feel, to make it of some import. And it'll be another unification match for those of us who hate it.
Hey, I want the unified title. I don't need a continental title and an international title anymore after last year's All In. Just unify the titles and bring back the unified title.
Yeah, I think that's probably where they're going to go in this instance, just so they don't have all these different titles on TV. And yeah, like I said, in my mind, Takeshita beats Mox here. Where does it take Mox if he gets beaten by Takeshita? Do they continue down the road they were going down about a month and a half ago? How Mox was basically losing the locker room, as they say, right? How he was losing trust in the members from the Death Riders and things of that nature. How does all that go? Especially if Wheeler Yuta does lose his hair, right? Like, everybody's gonna be freaking out. Mox loses the championship. Wheeler Yuta loses his hair. Like, who do you trust at the end of the day? So, you know, it makes for interesting storytelling components and stuff like that. If Takeshita wins here, I'm picking Takeshita to win here, especially if they want to take this Takeshita versus Okada thing to the next level and unify those championships again. So I think that makes the most sense to me in my head.
We got Junior who asking, what does it stream on? If you're in the US, it's HBO Max. If you're out of the US, it's Triller TV. So either way, you can stream it for sure. Maggie, who you got here? Takeshita and Moxley.
Okay. I understand that everyone's talking about the inevitable, I presume, unification again of the championships that we all talked about between the Continental and the unified, what was it, the unified and the Continental title. Okay. And everyone's also at the same time talking about Konosuke Takeshita versus Okada. I understand that. But I think that they're going to do that at Wembley. And if Takeshita wins this match, there's a long time until Wembley. I don't know how longer they can milk this, because I kind of feel like it should already be happening, especially if he's a champion. For me, I feel like Moxley should retain here, and this becomes the final straw for the Don Callis family and Takeshita. Because I think Takeshita leaves the Don Callis family. Either they attack him or boot him out, or he leaves. He says that he's leaving the family, which makes Don Callis angry, and he sicks the rest of the family on him. So I'm gonna go with Moxley to retain here because of everything I just said. I do feel like this will eventually lead to a Takeshita versus an Okada match, but I think that they attack him so fucking hard that he disappears from television for a while. And then when he comes back, he's coming back for the championship. And then he gets the championship and then he gets, we go to, the unification match between Okada and Takeshita at Wembley.
We got King Grave who said he thinks Okada cost Takeshita. Well, it should be specified. The Continental rules say no one is at ringside.
No one.
Like,
No.
You get fired. You get fired if you interfere in the matchup, unless you're talking about maybe like a distraction from the stage, which would be a lame finish for a great matchup, and I don't want that. I've learned one thing with AEW: you lose a lot of money when you bet against Jon Moxley. So I'm not going to lose any money here, and I'm going to say Jon Moxley gets the victory. What I really want, though, to set up another matchup between these two, I wouldn't mind the 20-minute time limit draw, because that's what they've been pushing in these eliminator matches. These eliminator matches have gone to like 19 minutes and stuff like that. This isn't a pay-per-view. This is a TV special. I think they have more than enough wrestling to make up for one match being a time limit draw. I'm gonna say that's my A option, but if there is gonna be a winner, it's Moxley. It's not gonna be Takeshita.
So, piggybacking off of what you just said, and appreciate everybody in the chat, participating and everything else in between. If they do the 20-minute draw, because I always get a lot of shit for telling people, this is gonna be a draw, and then I'm usually right. I didn't want to go.
You fucker.
I didn't want to go for the draw, but for all intents and purposes, it does make the most sense, right? Because one, Takeshita doesn't lose. Secondarily, Moxley doesn't lose, right? Moxley holds on to the championship, but for all intent, that still gives you time. To Maggie's point, if they're really gonna have Okada versus Takeshita at All In, it still gives Takeshita time to go back and face Moxley again. If Moxley's still the Continental champion to get that.
I thought this match would happen at Revolution. I didn't know they were gonna push it up to Australia, so I wouldn't mind them doing a time limit draw here, and then maybe for Revolution they make it no time limit, first ever time Continental title, no time limit. There must be a winner.
Yeah, that would be a good stipulation to add to it and stuff like that, and then you go from there. If they end up having Takeshita win and things of that nature, it for all intents and purposes, it makes the most sense. Like you said, SP3, to do the time limit draw here. I just wanted to have to get to Takeshita versus Okada sooner rather than later, based on the point that Maggie made. I already thought they would have been done this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they're dragging their feet a bit with it. So if that's going to be the case, in order to prolong the story even more and still have interesting bits to it, then I think going with the draw makes the most sense if we're talking story wise and stuff like that. So
that's what I mean when I said that for it to make sense not to have happened by now is for one of them to be off television. That's the only way. They cannot be on the same show and not tear each other apart. I mean, they truly hate each other. Well, we can tell.
It's fairly obvious.
It's right there.
He hates Okada, and Okada is just trying to get under his skin. I can also see a scenario where Moxley wins, and then after the matchup, Okada comes out and just looks at Takeshita, like shakes his head, and then he steps up to Moxley, and that's the unified matchup. Okada trying to get revenge and get his title back, and you do Okada and Moxley for the unified title at Revolution.
Also, you mean that Takeshita isn't the one to unify the championships. They unify it with Okada.
And then he eventually beats Okada for the unified title at All
In. That could also happen, but for me, it should be Okada, Takeshita themselves.
I agree. I agree.
It should be, but again, a lot of people in the chat are pointing that out. TK loves Moxley, and for a good reason, because Moxley has been the person holding AEW together, whether people would like to admit it or not. A lot of people don't like Moxley. They're, entitled to their opinion. Moxley's type of wrestling isn't for everyone, and I get it. it sort of isn't for me too, because there's a lot of gory stuff and I just want pure wrestling. Can I get Zack Sabre Jr. wrestling everyone for all eternity and like whatever? Please hold off on the gory stuff, okay? But I can see it because Moxley has been extremely important for AEW, so I can see it.
All right, so you got this matchup that we just talked about. That could be the show stealer. We talked about Hangman and Andrade. That can be the show stealer, or it could be this. For the TNT Championship, it is going to be Game 7, Match 7, between Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe. And this time, the TNT title will be up for grabs in a ladder match. These two men have been going to war for the past 2 years, dating back to Mark Briscoe's reign as Ring of Honor World Champion, when a young Kyle Fletcher challenged him for the title and he beat him. He then beat him again in the Continental Classic in 2024. Then Fletcher was finally able to get a victory over Briscoe in January of 2025 on Collision. These two men then faced in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, with Fletcher getting the win at Dynasty 2025. Then they started facing each other for the TNT Championship after Fletcher won the title in the summer. They faced each other at Wrestle Dream, with Fletcher getting his 3rd straight win over Mark Briscoe, seemingly winning the series. But the series continued on at Full Gear, with Mark Briscoe with the stipulation that if he lost, he would have to join the Don Callis family. No DQ matchup, and it was Mark Briscoe in Newark, New Jersey, winning his first singles title of his entire career, beating Kyle Fletcher for the TNT Championship. There was a lot of talk about this being a 7-match series, but we went through Mark Briscoe's run as TNT champion that went to an abrupt stop as Tommaso Ciampa made his debut in AEW and defeated Mark Briscoe in an open challenge on Collision in an absolute banger. That reign only lasted 11 days as Kyle Fletcher stepped up to Ciampa and put on an instant classic on AEW Dynamite this week to become a 2-time TNT champion. Fletcher wanted to walk into his hometown of Sydney and defend the TNT title, so he has set out an open challenge to anyone from anywhere, and it was his longtime rival Mark Briscoe who accepted the challenge. He wanted Game 7 and he was willing to give Fletcher home field advantage, but Fletcher wanted to up the ante even more. He said he wanted this match to be even bigger and better than any of their previous matches, so he wanted Mark Briscoe to do what he always says and reach for the sky and reach for the TNT title in a ladder match. So it all comes to a head in Kyle Fletcher's hometown of Sydney, Australia. TNT title, a ladder match, Game 7. Who you got, Maggie? And what have you thought about this excellent rivalry between Briscoe and Fletcher?
I'm gonna get crapped on so much for everything that I'm about to say. I don't care. I don't care to watch this fucking match for the 7th time. I've seen it before. I don't need it. Fucking go fuck yourselves. I did not ask for this. The only thing that makes it a teeny tiny bit interesting is the ladder, aspect to the match. This can be me being so pissed off that Ciampa lost the championship that he just won, because I'm a huge Tommaso Ciampa girl. The way that he was presented in AEW was flawless, and I'm like, oh yes, we're about to go in, so there you go. And then he lost the championship, and I'm like, okay, so this is probably a way to get full-on Psycho Killer, probably, because he flips the switch and then he kills everyone. Oh God, please do that. But seriously, guys, I hope the match is gonna, I know the match is gonna be so wonderful and I'm gonna end up eating my words, but I don't just give a fuck, man. Why is it he won such a wonderful matchup? Their match was so good. and then he won the championship, and like 5 seconds later, oh, he's so off to the next big thing, and I'm like, that's so disrespectful. I know this is probably me being bitter that Tommaso Ciampa isn't champion anymore, but I'm just gonna be so incredibly grumpy when the match comes, and it's gonna fucking hump. It's gonna be great, and I'm like, whatever. But I've seen this before. I know,
but you never seen it in a ladder match.
Shut up, man. It's like it's nowhere near Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Not even close. I know, but like, can we just not go that route? I'm so sorry, but can we just not do that? Fletcher retains. By the way, if Briscoe wins the championship, I'm gonna be so pissed off. You have no idea. This shit gets no. But yeah, Fletcher retains. Whatever.
I am going with Fletcher to retain, and I think this is going to be the match of the night. I think that these two guys have had nothing but absolute bangers, nothing but incredible matches. And for anyone who's disappointed, and I'm a big Ciampa fan myself. I love Ciampa, and what we've seen from him in AEW so far feels like it is 2018 Ciampa from NXT Black and Gold, but up a level with a chip on his shoulder. That's how he's been working in these 3 matches that he's had since coming to AEW. But this is the facts of the matter. AEW, Ciampa, no one knew that Ciampa was going to sign here. Yes, Ciampa knew that he was leaving WWE, but I don't think Ciampa even knew he was going to sign with AEW 3 days after his contract expired with WWE. This title reign was never supposed to happen. They had the plans. I think that if Ciampa doesn't sign with AEW, Briscoe would still be champion, and he'd be facing Kyle Fletcher, defending the title in Game 7 in a ladder match at this show. And this is where Fletcher would become a 2-time TNT champion. But we got Ciampa here. He was able to put on 3 straight bangers, and he was able to solidify himself, cement himself on the AEW roster, where when before he signs with AEW, a lot of people were like, oh, does AEW need a Ciampa right now? Does AEW need him? This roster's already bloated. Now you got people after he lost the title being like, oh my God, I'm so disappointed. They really should have gave Ciampa more. They have totally pulled a 180 on how people were viewing Ciampa before he signed with the company to how they feel about him now and losing the title only after a 2-week reign. And this is a TV title. I think that the fact that the title changed on Wednesday, it adds to the fact that you're absolutely right, Maggie, that Mark Briscoe could win this matchup, because this title is basically any title match, a title change can happen. And I love that about a TV title. So I think that this is to the benefit of the TNT championship, but I have no doubt the one rule in AEW that I always follow, besides betting against Moxley, you shouldn't do that, is AEW has the people from the place that they're going to be at win the matchup. So I think that Fletcher, hometown boy, will win here.
And another thing to add up to this. So like Briscoe was like, I'm going to get and defend that championship against anyone apart from Don Callis' family. And I'm like, yeah, sure, fine. And then he defends it against Ciampa and he loses the championship. And then all of a sudden, when he's not a champion, he wants to face someone from the Don Callis family.
Yeah, you got my title. You got my title.
So fucking hypocritical, man. Go fuck yourselves. That is so serving to your own point and not everything that you said a fucking week ago. Grow up.
J News, who you got here, and what have you thought about the Briscoe Fletcher feud, as well as this TNT championship picture?
I'm of 2 minds with this TNT championship picture. I'm of 2 minds here. The first one is that the TNT championship, as it was supposed to be from the outset, is the workhorse championship of AEW, right? The guy who holds that belt is the worker's worker, and he's going to give you tremendous matches for every 20-minute bout that he gives you. As of late, we've had Mark Briscoe, Kyle Fletcher, and Tommaso Ciampa in the recent weeks be TNT champions, and they have had great matches all throughout this time. I, for one, like the two of you, am a fan of Tommaso Ciampa. This version of Tommaso Ciampa, the psycho killer Tommaso Ciampa, the guy who drives his knee through every forehead possible, that Tommaso Ciampa. When they gave us that shock win of Tommaso Ciampa over Mark Briscoe, it gave AEW new life when they did that, right? And all of a sudden, right, Ciampa goes into his next match after champion into a triple threat match, which was incredible, versus Claudio and Roddy, right? And then we get Kyle versus Ciampa on Dynamite. I said to myself, why? First of all, he's the TNT champion. Why isn't this happening on Grand Slam? Right? That's part one. Secondarily, you take the title off Ciampa. Yeah, no doubt. He's only been in AEW for 2 weeks. He's got time. I get all that, right? But why are we going back to the well? Why? Why? Kyle Fletcher don't need no more water. Mark Briscoe don't need no more water. They done did this. Now I get it. Game 7.
They were 3-3.
Nah.
3-3. 3-3. That doesn't
Fuck
settle
you,
it.
Barf.
You gotta settle it. You gotta settle the score.
No.
Stretch it out, man. Have that next year. What am I fucking watching this the last 4 months? I don't need that. Go away.
We've been having this so often as of late. They should have done this to blow it off the last time.
Match was in November. It was in November.
This
was a long time ago.
It's February, man.
4 months ago. Damn, that's a while. 3 months ago. That's a while, man.
Ain't no while.
Long time ago.
Ain't no while. First of all,
that's a long time for you to not masturbate or have sex or anything. But like wrestling terms, that is not that long ago.
That's yesterday in wrestling terms, bro.
Yes.
Like, what are we doing? Like, I'm not saying Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe aren't going to have a fantastic ladder match. They are going to. We're prepared. The fans are prepared for that. But the fans are also prepared for new stories and new champions. And this is going backwards instead of forwards. That's what this feels like to me, right? Not in the sense that Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe bring the card down. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about forward trajectory and a storytelling perspective. We're going backwards here, folks. We had Ciampa. Ciampa was right there. He could have done whatever he wanted at the end of the day.
Ciampa's not done in the TNT
He's
title
not
picture.
done, but you gotta go with what's new and what's fresh, and this ain't fresh.
Hey,
You is always better.
Ciampa doesn't have a passport. That's what I heard.
Get the fuck out of here. He's a former WWE guy. He doesn't have a passport? You gotta be kidding me, man.
It's his daughter. It's his daughter's birthday this weekend. Sorry, guys. His daughter is his daughter. It's a Valentine's Day. He wants to spend it with his daughter.
Don't say
So
that.
once
If it's
again,
Willow's
it's
birthday,
the
then
child's
fine.
fault.
I get it.
Once again, a child is responsible for everything sucking in wrestling.
If it is Willow's birthday, then fine. Okay, no problem. But like, damn, man. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to do this, man. We just didn't have to do this. Like I said, the match is gonna be great.
Probably.
This is gonna be
It will be great.
It will be great. It'll be great. It's just it's not like it's Booker T versus Benoit best of 7. You know what I'm saying? We're not in that. You know what I'm saying? It's just different. You know, it's
I don't
It's 7
think
matches
the
across
JPEG
2 years.
I don't think JPEG and I have ever been on the same page this much ever since.
Listen, I think for all intents and purposes, this should be it. Period. Right?
Yeah,
If we go back to this match at some point in 2026 again, we're gonna have a problem.
No, I have a problem right now. I only ordered one. Why am I
They
getting
always
7?
have great matches. What's the problem? Jeez.
No,
Always have
because
great
we have to
matches.
hold AEW to a higher standard here.
We gotta settle the score. They didn't have a feud ender. Yeah, that's it. After this is done. Then I'm with y'all. Then I'll join y'all brigade of complaining about the matchup. But for now, I'm good. This is what I want. I'm here for it.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about the main event because I have to go.
Main event time for the AEW World Championship. It will be Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF, defending against Brody King. Back at AEW Dynamite Maximum Carnage, MJF defeated Bandito to retain the AEW World Championship. Post-match, MJF said great things about Bandito, but then he attacked him. This led to his tag team partner, Brody King, coming out and chasing off MJF. The following week, he wanted to get a shot at MJF's world title himself, but MJF told him he must beat some elite talent instead of all the jobbers he has been squashing in under a minute over the last couple of weeks. And so Brody King sat down with Tony Khan, and then he let MJF know the following week that he will be facing someone that is elite. He'll be facing MJF in an eliminator matchup, and if he beats him, he will get a shot at the AEW World Championship. So 2 weeks ago, we had that matchup in the main event of Dynamite. After a distraction from Hangman Adam Page, it was Brody King who defeated MJF in 77 seconds after he received one of the greatest chants in pro wrestling history of fuck ice, and it went viral. It went on to NBC News, became a big point of conversation throughout the wrestling world. Brody King, of course, wore the Abolish Ice shirt and Grand Slam Mexico last year, and he's made this a part of his persona, made this a part of what he's doing and using his platform to promote. And Brody King pulled off the victory to earn the opportunity to face MJF at Grand Slam Australia. So the big question is, will AEW ride the momentum behind Brody King and crown him as the champion, or will Maxwell Jacob Freeman find a way to retain the gold and walk out of Australia still AEW World Champion? Maggie, what have you thought about this feud? Who do you think wins tomorrow?
So I'm absolutely in love with each and every part of this. The audience have been so fucking in love with Brody King. I'm glad that they're giving him the opportunity to shine and be a part of the main event, because he's so easy to cheer for. I feel like, back in the day, House of Black, they were booing House of Black because they were heels, but every time it was Brody King and they were like hyped, for him. I always adored House of Black, by the way. So for me, listen up. I know it's not about brand supremacy. It's not about companies or anything. I don't like cheering for one company to, step on the other in any way. I'm not proposing that. But for me, this AEW have the biggest opportunity to shove the meatiest middle finger in the face of WWE by crowning Brody King as champion. Because we all know WWE supporting, the administration and everything, and them being a part of the house, I don't want to make it political, but it kind of is. So AEW have that opportunity to be, the company that offers everyone else that's fucking tired of the people in charge and be their representative. But it kind of leads to him losing the championship really, really soon. And I don't want Brody King to have that short of a reign. But on the other hand, it's better than no title reign, right? I keep thinking that because they just did that Ciampa apparently, and that works for you.
I was about to call out. I was like, very hypocritical. You're complaining about Ciampa losing the title, and then you want Brody to have a short reign.
No. I don't think it's okay. But like, this is Brody. This is Brody King, and everything that he's preaching, lately, and like as a whole, I'm so for that. And with all of those fuck ice chants, I kind of feel like the people are up for it too. So, but I don't think they're gonna do it. I think MJF is gonna retain. But they still have that opportunity. Because AEW are the company that we still have. I don't have that good of a finger on the pulse with their decision making. The first 2 years, it was clear because we knew the first four champions. It was right there. But now we have no idea what's gonna happen, and it kind of makes it really, really interesting. I'll be fucking stoked to see Brody as AEW champion, but I still feel like they're gonna go with MJF. But I really hope they do reconsider. And if you guys allow me, I'm just gonna plug my shit, and I have to go drink some water before my show because my throat hurts a bit, and I still have some cashews that I have to eat. So, guys, thank you so much for having me on the show. I adore you guys. Every time I'm with JPEG on the show,
let them know where you're from, where they can find you.
Guys, you can follow me on Twix, Twitter, X, whatever, at Maggie_IK, and on Instagram at Maggie.IK. In 5 minutes after you've done watching this show, hop on Fightful Overbooked for Coexisting with Rob and Maggie. A bunch of shenanigans every week. Rob keeps making me, trying to make me watch weird ass movies and then, talking about them on the show. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to watch Blazing Saddles because I haven't watched Blazing Saddles, and apparently I'll have to.
Great Mel Brooks movie, by the way. Great Mel.
I know. It's Mel Brooks. It's I think there's no, there's no bad choice. Also, please subscribe to Fightful Select on Patreon, the best $5.99 you're ever going to spend on wrestling. A lot of scoops before pay-per-views, after pay-per-views, Sean's favorite thing, contract, reports and everything. You get the Discord, whatever that is. I'm sorry, I'm old. I have no idea what Discord is. So, guys, please join us. Thank you so much once again for having me on the show. It's a blast each and every week. Come on. When's the next time we're going to see each other? Revolution or before that?
Elimination Chambers in 2 weeks.
Elimination Chamber. Oh yeah, in where is it?
In Chicago.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's a whole thing about Chicago. Yes, so in 2 weeks. Oh damn, it's gonna be a lifetime again.
Too long.
Too
Can't
fucking
wait
long.
for
Thank you
that.
guys. Have a blast and enjoy the show.
Yes. Thank you, Maggie. As always, go over and check out Fightful Overbooked when we're done with this podcast here. But let's go over to J News. What have you thought about the rivalry between MJF and Brody King? Who do you got winning tomorrow at Grand Slam?
I thought that they used this rivalry between Brody and MJF very well to elevate Brody into the title picture and things of that nature. That's part one. Part two of it, and I think it makes for all the better elements of putting Brody into not only the AEW championship picture, but it also can have him be in the title picture for all the secondary AEW titles. That being said, if Brody loses here, it doesn't necessarily mean he has to go straight to the bottom of the card, right? There's, for all the lack of us liking all the different championships on AEW, there's the national title, the international title, there's the Continental Championship, there's a TNT Championship. Brody's never won a singles title at AEW. Yeah. So, if he loses here to MJF, it doesn't necessarily mean Brody stays off of TV. MJF will still have a bunch of future opponents that are going to line up to want to beat his ass. Obviously, we talked about Andrade earlier. If he defeats Hangman Adam Page and things of that nature. So I think for me, I'm going to side with MJF retaining here just for the sake of, as long as the match works, which I'm sure it will, as long as the match works and it goes well, it'll cement and validate Brody to be in that picture in the future. And then they can have him go after any other of the secondary men's singles titles, so that way that can continue to validate Brody King being in that scene in the immediate future and for future months, weeks, years to go with AEW and stuff like that, because I don't see Brody going anywhere. MJF's story is the main story for AEW right now, and that's the driving force. So I can't see MJF losing the belt right now. I feel like it has to be one of the guys who are lingering around the belt currently, be it an Andrade, be it a Hanger, be it Swerve, be it whoever. You know what I'm saying? That's left. Obviously, Samoa Joe's off of TV. Once Samoa Joe comes back, he's another one. If Wardlow ever recovers from his tech pair, he's obviously somebody they can throw into that picture once he comes back from injury.
New card.
So,
Oh, look at this. What's the card for? Is it a Valentine's Day card?
Yes.
Hi.
Oh, thanks for letting us know.
But there's so much more story to tell with MJF, with everything that's been going on with his current storyline. That Brody losing here, it'll cement him, it'll validate him, but at the same time, it's not going to hinder him at the end of the day. Yeah. So they'll have that. I know someone asked earlier if there's a possibility. I think it was Dion who asked if there's a possibility that Buddy would come back here. Your guess is as good as mine, man. To be quite honest, I don't know what's going on. Ankle injuries nowadays in wrestling specifically have become very tricky. Buddy Matthews had a couple of setbacks. So Nick Wayne has had setbacks as well. We haven't seen Nick Wayne in a long period of time. Your guess is as good as mine. If they really wanted to put Brody King into a storytelling feud, obviously Buddy's Buddy's
it's a Christmas card. It's from your friend?
It's for
Is that Bluey?
My show is Bluey. Thank to you, Theo.
Oh, thank you. You let everybody know. It's a Bluey card. There you go. Show it. Yeah, great. You love your card, huh?
Daddy, I got a Bluey card. It's so cute.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for letting us know. Love you. She keeps cutting you off every time. I love it.
I know what it's like. I spend every weekend with my nieces, man, and they never let me get a word in. It's fine. So it is what it is there. But yeah, I think the Buddy Matthews thing I think from a storytelling perspective, that's like one of the most obvious things you can do if he's ready to go. If not, I can see this just ending in usual MJF chicanery and things of that nature, and MJF retaining. It can go either way for me. Like I said, if Buddy doesn't interfere, it doesn't necessarily do anything bad for Brody. Losing here, he can just dip down into the upper mid card and go for any one of those particular championships, since he's never won an AEW championship, and that can be Brody's story. But yeah, I see MJF retaining the championship here in one of his usual fashions.
Yeah, I can see like a low blow, dynamite diamond ring, and that's how he's going to get the win. It's not going to be a clean win for MJF. I would not mind at all for AEW to go with the hot hand, because Brody King is hot right now. He is hot. You just had all that buzz off the F Ice chant and the coverage that you got. It went viral. It was on NBC News. Getting all this coverage and getting behind him as well will give you even more coverage on outlets outside of the wrestling verse. So I think that it would be a wise decision if they rode with the hot hand and gave it to Brody King and solidify him as another new main eventer along with Andrade. But I think that it's just gonna going to be a short reign if they even do that, because the plan right now is for Max to have the title. And I think that you're absolutely right in the fact that you said that one of these main players that have been chasing him all this time, because this has been mostly an MJF Brody storyline, kind of in the process of all these main stars that are going after MJF right now. And I think the long-term plan, if you are going to see MJF lose the title before Wembley, it needs to be to probably Kenny Omega. And I would do that at Double or Nothing, since Double or Nothing got announced for New York, or the rumor is, the report is it's going to be in New York at Louis Armstrong arena or stadium. You do it there. You do Max versus Kenny Omega. You'll sell out the joint with your two biggest draws going against one another. That's where Omega wins, and that sets up Omega and Ospreay for Wembley. But Max needs to hold the title for a little bit longer if you're going to do that. But I think that if Brody comes close, or even like Call Me Mr. Bonda saying, I have a feeling there's going to be a rough bump, a gonzo bond, and a visual pin, that also puts over Brody. And I do agree also with your other point that Brody will win a singles title in 2026. He feels way too hot to not have him win at least one of these singles titles. You got enough singles titles to give Brody one of them. So I think that Brody King will be a singles champion in 2026. I don't think it will be tomorrow, though.
Right. I definitely agree with that. That's an interesting call there. Having Brody get a visual pin over Max and stuff like that. You know, if there's a ref bump involved, that makes a lot of sense. It puts him just that much more over with the fan base and things of that nature. So yeah, I definitely feel that there as well. There's a lot of things to do either or way with both MJF and Brody. And that's definitely a good thing. And us not necessarily knowing where it's going is not a bad thing, right? Not everything has to be as predictable as it has been in recent years, maybe even months. So I think that's why AEW's in such a good place right now. So ride the hot hand. That's strong. That's a good shout. Giving him the visual pin, it's really a good shout. And then having him vie for some sort of singles title during the year would be excellent. It would be cool if they would have him win a singles title right back in Sacramento, which would be close to hometown for him. But you know,
or even in LA at Revolution.
Right, at Revolution, bingo. There you go. Absolutely. So you know that would be big, man. So yeah, AEW has set themselves up in a real good place right now with everything that's been going on. So I that's why I'm so excited about Grand Slam Australia. And you just talked about the news about Double or Nothing possibly being here in New York. I had that conversation the other day with a fellow friend of ours and stuff like that. So if the show is happening, your good brother Jay News will be there. So
we're going to be at all the big shows, True Hill Heat. I talked to one of the members in the chat who joins us on the show sometimes. Chase is going to Revolution since he's out in California. So we might have some footage that we can drop on the channel. So hopefully you guys get some footage from Double or Nothing. We get footage from All In. We're going to be hitting all the big AEW events this year. But we got a super chat donation to end us off here from Call Me Mr. Bonda, who says Harlem tax for the Princess of New York. Fist emoji and the laugh emoji. Thank you so much. Always appreciate the support for Harlem, the real star. Yes, Princess Harlem, the real star of True Hill Heat. But we've made it to the end for our pay-per-view preview, special preview for AEW Grand Slam Australia. We are both looking forward to the show, so you guys can watch it. It will be available on TNT for you guys in the States, or HBO Max simulcast. If you're in outside of there, it's going to be on Triller TV, as well as any other outlets that AEW covers throughout the world. So it's going to be a big show, going to be a great show with a bunch of great matches and maybe some big moments, even Brody King winning the AEW World Championship. We don't know. We just gave you our predictions. So let us know in the comments down below your predictions for the show. And J News, thank you as always for joining us, good sir. Let the people know where they can follow you on social media and when they might see you again.
You guys can follow me on the Twitter machine at JohnLYFNMG. You can follow me over on Instagram at _JONJY. As always, thank you very much to everybody involved in the chat for participating and chiming in and giving us your thoughts. That's always appreciated and things of that nature. Keeps the conversation going. You can check me out every Sunday afternoon, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Hit Throws podcast with the lovely Dolores. We should be back this Sunday on our respective YouTube channel, so check us out there. And then I believe I should be back on True Heel Heat within the next 10 days as we preview New Beginning in the USA for New Japan Pro Wrestling. So me and SP3 and hopefully the lovely Sanal will be back to preview and then review that event for you guys as well. And then on the road to everything that's going to be happening for Revolution and AEW, you'll see the preview with me, SP3, and Maggie, hopefully for Revolution sometime at the beginning of March. So yeah, check us out there.
Absolutely. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSB3. You can follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at True Hill Heat. Patreon.com/True Hill Heat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The best way to support us when we are not live here. Check out all the great content we got on the channel right now, like AE Ramble, reviewing the much appreciated episode of AEW Dynamite from this past week. AE Ramble 236 with me and Jimmy Macaram. Check out the NJPW, the New Beginning in Osaka review that me and Jay News did earlier in the week. Go over to True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment. As for the weekend, there's All-Star Weekend for the NBA. So we got True Hill Heat Check talking all about All-Star Weekend 2026. So go over and check that out. And I will be back with you guys tomorrow morning, 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time, the True Hill Heat flagship podcast. Myself, Miss Chrissy Love, and the True Jaw Josh talking about everything going on in the world of wrestling, from WWE, from New Japan, from AEW, CMLL, AAA, NXT, and everything in between. Check us out, the True Hill Heat flagship podcast. Thank you so much to Maggie. Thank you so much to J News. And thank you so much to all of you. Drop the thumbs up. Share this video if you want to share it with a friend. And, of course, hit the subscribe button for more True Hill Heat great content. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been our AEW Grand Slam Australia 2026 preview. We are signing off until next time.